Let's start with the Earth's hemispheres. The Earth has 4 distinct hemispheres: Eastern, Western, Northern, and Southern, each representing one half of the Earth. Hemi means half in the Greek language, and sphere means a round object. Hemisphere therefore means half of the round Earth.
The Northern Hemisphere is 90% land, and the Southern Hemisphere is 90% water. So most of the world's population lives in the Northern Hemisphere. The climate of the Northern Hemisphere is different from the Southern Hemisphere because of the Earth's seasonal tilts towards and away from the sun. So when it is summer in the Northern Hemisphere, it is winter time in the Southern Hemisphere, and vice versa.
If you watch water draining through a plug hole in the Northern Hemisphere, the water will drain in a clockwise direction. But in the Southern Hemisphere, it will turn in an anti-clockwise direction. And if you watch it by the equator, it will just drain straight down.
Although these two hemispheres seem very different, they have one thing in common. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west in both hemispheres.
Lines of latitude and longitude are imaginary lines traced on the surface of the Earth.
The inventor of these lines was some Greek dude by the name of Eratosthenes.
Lines of latitude are horizontal mapping lines that run around the Earth from east to west. Lines of latitude are known as parallels because they run parallel to one another. One simple way to visualize this is think of having imaginary hula hoops around the Earth. The equator is the main line of latitude and has a degree of 0. The equator divides the Earth into 2 hemispheres, north and south. Zach, do you know what countries have a latitude of 0?
Nope.
Countries' latitude of 0 include Kenya, Uganda, and Brazil. Remember, these lines run parallel to one another, so these lines never meet. Lines of latitude start at 0 degrees and run to 90.
Lines of longitude are vertical mapping lines that run down the Earth from north to south. Lines of longitude are known as meridians. The Greenwich meridian is the main line or meridian of longitude and has a degree of 0. The Greenwich meridian divides the Earth into 2 hemispheres, east and west. This prime meridian runs over the British Royal Observatory in Greenwich, England. Ben, do you know of any countries that fall on 0 degrees longitude?
No?
Countries with a longitude of 0 include the UK, France, Spain, Algeria, and Tonga. Unlike the lines of latitude, lines of longitude meet at the north and south poles.
This is all very interesting, but how's this going to help me find the Gulf of Guinea?
I'm sure you've used GPS devices in your cars or your phone. GPS devices use points on the globe called coordinates. These coordinates describe the location to us in the form of latitude and longitude coordinates. You will also find them on your world globe and some maps.